The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 704. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is an outsourcing expert, a wife and a mother, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Linh Podetti. Linh, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, hi Sheena. Thank you so much for inviting me. So I live in Sydney, Australia, and my background is Vietnamese. And yeah, I have 3 kids now. One is actually 16. I had him when I was only 20 years old. So that really taught me a lot about life, and I had to really grow up really fast. And, you know, coming from an Asian background, I had a really tough childhood, just clashing with my parents. But all that really made me motivated to succeed in life. And so I ventured into my own business about nearly 10 years ago. I started a home-based business. I did something completely to what I'm doing now, but it was my first journey. I started like an e-commerce business, and then now I actually run an outsourcing business. And my mission is to actually create jobs for people in developing countries, in countries like the Philippines, and finding them work to be able to work with businesses in Australia, Canada, America. And so, we've grown into a big team now. I'm proud that I stuck it through and I didn't let any of my rough childhood stop me from success.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Linh, what's your favorite self-confidence quote?
So that's a good one. I actually have my own. So I tend to really love inspiring people. And if you go on my social media, I have a lot of things that I've quote. So this is something that I came up with. It is: confidence is not who we are. It is how we are. We can change to be a confident person.
Thanks for sharing that great quote. And I think that's, I like that quote that you created, because, if a lot of people feel like, we don't have confidence, but we can build it, we can practice it, and we can have that confidence if we just keep, taking daily action. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
So self-confidence for me is really about being who you are and just not being apologetic about the way you think, the way you want to live your life. It was a big sort of journey for me because, I don't know about other Asian parents, but my Asian parents were very dictatorship kind of thing. Were trying to tell me how to live my life. Were trying to just control me in every way that they wanted. And there was just this drive in me that wanted to be me, And so I just wanted to be confident in my own decisions, my own being me. Like, you might have given birth to me, but I am my own person. And so having the confidence to just live your life in your own way and be happy with your own choices rather than being influenced by anyone else. Confidence is also just being really brave, have the courage to, face failures and mistakes and you might be fearful of things, but you just have this belief that you're going to be okay.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Linh, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Yeah, so I would say that I was actually a shy kid, I was born in Vietnam. So, when you're raised in a country like Vietnam, you're just naturally really shy. And so I was not outspoken. I limited myself. I didn't want to put my hands up for anything. And then living with my parents who were quite controlling, I didn't know who I was. I was just confused. So I ended up just going to the wrong path, escaping from my family, ran away from home, and I lacked love. I didn't feel loved from my parents, and I didn't love myself. So I lacked the confidence in I didn't even know who I was, not to mention being even confident. It's just, who am I? So I was just out on my own journey, and that's why I ended up dating bad people, had a kid when I was 20 years old. So I didn't have any backup support by my family, because that's where the problem sort of even arose from. And then I was still finding out who I am through all the relationships that I had with people, and making bad choices, and then just discovering that I was just lacking in confidence and love for myself. And when I realized that was when I decided to work on myself. And now I would say that I am a very confident person, but it was through all these trauma almost that I was able to find who I am and then built that confidence by just keep facing more fear. Knowing that I've survived through all those bad times, I can keep doing more, challenge myself more.
Thanks for sharing that. And, it's not always easy to go out there and work on yourself, especially learning to love ourselves when we are brought up in a way where we have to always please other people or make other people happy, put other people first instead of us or instead of ourselves. And it can be challenging at times, right? Because we don't even know where to start or we don't even know how that looks. And, we feel like we're the only ones who feel like we can't even do that, right? We feel like we're all alone in this journey, but, you were able to have the courage to do that. No matter what situation you're in, you just went out there and you started learning to love yourself. And learning to love yourself can look, different, right? Because we're all made differently. We're all different people and we have our own ways of finding that, right? Finding that path. And, I'm glad you were able to find that path to help you learn to love yourself so you can be, the person that you are today. And because of those realizations, what's your life been like now?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to confidence, you're right. It's in every aspect. I had body issues. I didn't love my body, and then so I was going through, bulimia for a period of time. Didn't love myself, so I couldn't be alone. So then I was always in a relationship looking for someone to fulfill me. And anyway, all of that now I have bounced back to the other side and learned to love myself. And now I live a very healthy and fit life. I even, created an Instagram account called Lin Six Pack because it's not just loving my body and being fit is my goal. I'm on to the next level, which is how do I get a six pack now? What's this next fun challenge I can do before I die? I want to tick my bucket list. Then when it came to love, it's I no longer bouncing from one relationship to another looking for this feeling of infatuation. It's now I have been married to my husband for 7 years. We met 8 years ago, got married in 8 months, and the love has just still been so passionate now. So I was lucky to meet someone that loved my own kid as well. So I had a kid before him, and when he came to my life, he took on a role of the dad, and I was just I can't believe my life has turned around from not having proper relationship to a stable relationship with a great guy who's a great dad to my son. And so we've got a really good family relationship. And because I started succeeding in my journey, I started a business, I made my business successful, I found a good guy, my parents came around and go, oh, you're actually right. All the things that I told you not to do, you went against us, but your life is really good now. It's better than our life. And so they are coming to me now for advice. My aunties and uncles and my cousins and stuff are knocking on my door asking me for help whenever they're going through stuff. So I guess it's once you prove yourself that you can succeed, first of all, don't worry about what people say. You do your thing. And when you get there, everyone will start listening.
Thanks for sharing that. And it's amazing what happens, right? When you just go out there and just take action regardless of what happens. And I know sometimes it's not always easy when family, tell you to do a certain thing or live a certain way, especially in an Asian upbringing, right? You're just taught to live one way of life, not realizing that's not going to work for everyone. There's so many ways to live your life, right? And we're here for a reason to live life to the fullest and, be happy for one thing.
Because I find Asian parents, they don't want us to make mistakes because they just love you too much that they think they just want to protect you, or then that they know how to live the right way of life. But I don't regret any of the choices. Even the fact that I had a kid so young, sure, it's a tough decision, but I don't think if I didn't have a kid, I reckon I wouldn't be motivated and be where I am either. So the mistakes is the biggest influence and impact in my life.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
Everything will be okay. Just trust in the universe, and you can help yourself by starting to, so with me, I went into my own personal development journey. I joined a life coaching course and really learned about mindset stuff. And then from then on, it was just this road of discovery. There's so much free resources on YouTube, podcasts, and, channels like yourself that really motivates you. And there is so many resources that are coming even from experts and successful people like Tony Robbins, Oprah, and just people that are just way more successful than we are. And we can all learn from them for free. And so it's really about you can go out there and discover your journey. Don't wait for someone else to make you more confident. Don't wait for someone else to fulfill your life. You can do this, because I've been there, and I know that you can change your life on your own. And whenever you face any challenges or fear, just know that success is on the other side, or learning is on the other side. Like, you basically just need to keep getting more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, so check out my business, outsourcingangel.com, if you're in business and you're interested in learning about business. Yeah, so that's my business website. But if you want to be inspired by my stories or the things that I've learned in life, then go to Instagram, and it's Linh Pod. So my first name, LINH, and POD, pod.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Linh, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Linh's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Linh today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Linh.
Thank you so much, Sheena, for having me.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to get your daily boost of confidence.